Hey guys, tonight we're staying up way past bedtime because the Arctic in 2047 doesn't care about your circadian rhythm or your cozy blanket. You step off the tilt rotor onto a landing pad that glows faint turquoise under the dome's energy shield, and the wind hits like a slap from a glacier that's been waiting centuries to say hello. The station itself is a half-buried pearl, all sleek carbon curves and pulsing fiber optic veins. But the moment the airlock hisses shut behind you, the hum starts. Not mechanical, something deeper, like the planet itself is clearing its throat. You'll wish you never synced your neural implant to the station's ambient feed, because now every light flicker feels like a blink from something enormous on the other side of the ice. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Drop your local time in the comments, and name one creepy thing in your room right now. Mine's the way my smart mirror keeps lagging half a second behind my smile. Real-world fact: the Arctic Ocean is warming twice as fast as the global average, so domes like this one are the only way to keep research alive without drowning. Internet tidbit: there's a glitchy ArcticNet forum thread where ex-crew swear the domes sing at 3:12 a.m. local. Experts still argue whether it's geomagnetic interference or something older waking up. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You tug the collar of your thermal weave higher and follow the glowing floor strips toward habitation ring A. The corridor smells faintly of ozone and synthetic pine. Someone's trying too hard to make this feel like home. Your implant pings. Welcome, Dr. Rowan Vale, Spiritual Resilience Liaison. Yeah, that's you, the token soul guy in a crew of hard science badasses. The pay was obscene, the contract ironclad, and the recruiter's smile looked AI-generated. You figured 6 months of counseling stressed-out glaciologists would be a cakewalk. You were wrong the second the inner hatch irised open. 12 silhouettes wait in the atrium, backlit by aquamarine strips that make everyone look half-drowned. There's Dr. Helmi Korhonen, the trauma surgeon from Lapland, whose silver hair catches the light like frost on a blade. Beside her stands Dr. June Park, theoretical physicist, already fidgeting with a holographic Rubik's sphere that keeps rearranging itself into impossible geometries. The married duo, Professors Aisha and Reese Caldwell, geochemists from Cardiff, trade quiet Welsh inside jokes while calibrating wrist-mounted spectrometers. 3 engineers, Leo, Mira, and Dax, lounge against a bulkhead, trading vape hits that smell like burnt citrus. They can rebuild a fusion bottle with duct tape and spite. Then there's Dr. Nia Okoye, microbiologist, whose lab coat never leaves her shoulders even indoors, as if the air itself might contaminate her data. 2 mental health specialists, warm, cardigan-clad Dr. Evelyn Hart, who greets you with cocoa-scented breath, and the other, Dr. Silas Wren. He's a tower of black wool and sharper cheekbones, eyes like oil slicks. When he nods, the temperature drops 2 degrees. You decide right then to schedule your sessions with Evelyn. Last, hunched over a ration crate, is the quiet one everyone calls Cook, though the galley is fully automated. He wears a rust-colored hoodie, hood up, earbuds in, stirring nutrient paste like it owes him money. You try, "Hey, I'm Rowan," and he doesn't even twitch. Perfect. In a place this small, silence is currency. Your quarters are a honeycomb pod, gel mattress, holographic windows cycling fake auroras, and a desk that unfolds from the wall. You dump your duffel, sync your tablet, and the station AI chirps, ambient harmony protocol engaged. Translation: it's pumping microdoses of serotonin straight into the air vents. You kill the feed. You've counseled enough veterans to know when someone's trying to medicate your feelings. First night, you wander. The dome's lower ring is a maze of labs where ice cores older than humanity spin in cryocradles, whispering data to servers that dream in quantum. You find June in the observatory, staring at a starfield rendered in false color. Ever feel like the universe is running a simulation and forgot to compile the DLC? He asks without turning. You laugh, but the joke lands wrong. Your implant glitches, overlaying static snow across the glass. When it clears, the stars look rearranged. You blame fatigue. Days blur. You run group mindfulness circles in the zero-G yoga sphere. Yes, the dome has won. Where Reese confesses he hears Morse code in the wind turbines. Nia logs bacterial mutations that shouldn't evolve that fast. Helmi stitches a laceration on Dax's forearm after he swears the maintenance drone looked at him funny. Evelyn's therapy couch sees a steady parade. Silas's door stays shut. You catch him once in the hydroponics bay, standing motionless among the lettuce, fingers brushing leaves like he's reading Braille. When he notices you, he smiles with too many teeth. Cook becomes your shadow. He's always in the mess when you grab midnight algae noodles. Hood up, sipping something amber from a steel flask. You start nodding. He starts nodding back. Progress. The hum grows teeth. At 3:12 a.m. sharp, your implant wakes you with a soft chime that isn't in the manual. You pad to the observation blister atop the dome. Outside, the shield shimmers violet against the polar night, and the ice stretches black and endless. Something moves, far off, a ripple, like a whale under the surface, but the ocean is kilometers down. Your breath fogs the glass. When you wipe it clear, the ripple is gone, but frost has etched a perfect circle on the pane, and inside it, a single word in a language your implant can't translate. You snap a hollow. The word vanishes before the file saves. Back in your pod, you journal for the sponsor's spiritual resilience metrics. Day 9. Crew cohesion 82%. Ambient dread 17% and rising. Recommend increased group karaoke. You're kidding, but the AI flags it as therapeutic. You fall asleep to the hum, now layered with a faint child's giggle that definitely isn't in the sound library. Week 3, you lead a drum circle. Yes, actual drums, shipped in at someone's request, and even Silas taps a rhythm, slow and arrhythmic, like a dying heart. Cook sits in the corner, hood shadowing his face, but his foot keeps perfect time. Later, you find a single red leaf from hydroponics tucked under your door. No note. You pin it above your desk. It doesn't wilt. The first supply drop is a ballet. Autonomous drones parachute crates of coffee, nicotine gum, and mystery novels. You sign for a crate marked pastoral care that contains vintage whiskey and a leather-bound Bible with pages cut to hide a flask. Someone's got jokes. You share the whiskey with Leo and Mira on the engineering catwalk while the dome's fusion heart throbs below. Place feels like it's listening. Mira mutters, exhaling vapor that forms tiny skulls before the scrubbers suck it away. You laugh it off, but your implant logs elevated cortisol across the board. Then the routine drill. Every Thursday, a team suits up for the ice trench 2 clicks north, harvesting cores for Nia's microbes and the Caldwell's isotope maps. You tag along for morale support, which means you carry the thermos. The rover is a 6-legged beast that scuttles over pressure ridges like a chrome spider. Harnesses clipped to magnetic tethers. One slip and the ice swallows you whole. Today's crew: Aisha, Reese, Nia, and Dax driving. You wave from the airlock as the rover vanishes into wideout. Hours later, the rover limps back minus Dax and trailing a cargo sled. The team stumbles in, visors opaque with frost. Aisha's shaking so hard her teeth chatter in Morse. Reese's eyes are saucers. Nia clutches a sample case like it's a bomb. They won't speak until Evelyn herds them into the meditation pod. You catch fragments. It moved, shouldn't move, message in the ice. Silas appears, silent as snowfall, and guides Nia away. The rover's empty harness dangles like a noose. You check the external cams. Nothing but static where the trench should be. The message they mentioned? A single glyph carved 50 meters wide, glowing faint blue, then gone between frames. Your implant tries to enhance. The file corrupts into a scream of pixels. June finds you in the server room, pale as liquid nitrogen. That glyph, he whispers, it's not terrestrial. I ran it against every known script. Closest match is hypothetical elder signs from the 1920s Antarctic expeditions. The ones they buried. You want to laugh, but the hum just shifted pitch, and every light in the corridor stutters in sync. That night, Cook sits closer in the mess, hood down for the first time. His eyes are bloodshot, but kind. He slides you a folded note. They opened a door. Close it before it notices you. You look up to ask what the hell that means, but he's already gone, orange hoodie vanishing around the curve of the ring. The note smells like ozone and old paper. You tuck it into the Bible's hollow spine. Sleep doesn't come. The giggle is back, closer, layered under the hum like a second track on a corrupted file. You put on noise-canceling buds and loop ocean waves. At 3:12 a.m., the buds die. In the silence, something taps your pod door 3 times slow. You hold your breath. The tapping matches your heartbeat. When you finally creep to the viewport, the corridor is empty, but frost spiders across the glass from the outside, forming that same untranslatable word. This time, your implant whispers a translation it shouldn't know. Hungry. The emergency lights cycle to amber, the color of old bruises, and you're already moving before your implant finishes the alert. Crew manifest discrepancy. One missing. Dax. You pull on your thermal liner, boots magnet locking to the deck, and jog the ring toward the rover bay. The others converge like iron filings to a magnet. June clutching a tablet that flickers with corrupted star maps. Helmy with her medkit slung like a rifle. Leo and Mira in grease-stained coveralls. Evelyn wringing her cardigan sleeves. Silas glides in last, coat unbuttoned despite the chill, eyes reflecting the strobing amber like twin eclipses. Cook is nowhere. The bay doors yawn open onto a night so dark it has texture. The rover sits crooked, one leg folded beneath it, frost spider webbing the windshield. Dax's harness dangles, clip sheared clean. No blood, no scorch marks, just the faint smell of ozone and something coppery that makes your tongue retract. Leo kneels, runs a finger along the severed tether. Molecular edge, he mutters. Nothing we carry does that. Myra's drone lifts off, searchlight carving tunnels through the snow, but the feed glitches into static after 20 meters. June's tablet mirrors the corruption. The starfield dissolves into that same glyph, pulsing like a heartbeat. Back inside, the team clusters in the central atrium. Aisha's voice cracks over the intercom from the meditation pod. It's still down there. Moving. Reese adds, voice flat. The ice, it's breathing. Neo won't let go of the sample case. Evelyn tries to herd them toward the couches, but Silas simply opens his office door, and they file in like children to a principal. The door seals. You hear nothing through the soundproofing, not even the hum. You volunteer to check the external arrays. Leo tosses you a tether gun. Mira slaps a patch on your suit that reads vitals in real time. If your heart rate spikes past 180, I reel you in like a trout, she says, attempting a grin that doesn't reach her eyes. You cycle the airlock. The wind outside is a living thing, trying to peel your skin through the suit. Your headlamp slices a cone of visibility, maybe 5 meters wide. The dome's shield flickers overhead, violet bleeding into ultraviolet, and for a second the snowflakes look like tiny origami cranes disintegrating mid-flight. The array tower looms 30 meters up, a lattice of carbon struts and quantum antennae. You magboot up the side, tether paying out with soft clicks. Halfway, your implant glitches again. Proximity alert, unknown mass. You look down. The snow directly beneath the tower is depressed. A perfect circle, 10 meters across, as if something enormous exhaled upward. In the center, a single boot print, Dax's tread pattern, points toward the circle, then stops. No exit print. You sweep the light across the ice. The depression is already filling, edges collapsing inward like a pupil contracting. Your patch pings. Heart rate 178. Myra's voice crackles. Rowan, talk to me. You try, but the wind steals the words. When you look again, the circle is gone. Smooth snow. Pristine. Back inside, the team has reassembled in the mess. Someone's brewed algae coffee that tastes like regret. June projects the glyph onto the wall. It rotates slowly, facets catching the light like obsidian. It's a containment sigil, he says, voice trembling with excitement and terror. Old Voynich manuscript, page 87R. Supposed to bind star-spawned intelligences. Supposed to be fiction. Helmy snorts. Everything's fiction until it eats your driver. Evelyn passes around calming tabs. Silas watches from the doorway, arms folded, expression unreadable. Cook slips in late, hood up, carrying a tray of nutrient bars. He sets it down, then, without looking at anyone, places a single red leaf beside your cup, same as the one above your desk. You meet his eyes, they're bloodshot but steady. He mouths something you can't catch, then retreats to the corner. You pocket the leaf. It's warm. Night cycle. The dome dims to twilight blue. You try to journal, but the stylus keeps writing the glyph instead of words. You delete, rewrite, delete. Finally, you give up and wander to the hydroponics bay. The lettuce glows under UV strips, but one row is wrong. Leaves curled into perfect spirals, centers black as space. You touch one. It crumbles to ash that smells like burnt circuit boards. Behind you, footsteps. You spin. Nothing. But the temperature plummets, breath fogging. Your implant flashes. Anomaly. Temperature dropped 12 degrees Celsius in 3 seconds. The footsteps start again, slow, deliberate, circling the bay. You back toward the door. The footsteps stop when you reach the threshold. In the silence, you hear breathing, not yours. Wet. Curious. You bolt. Corridors blur. You don't stop until you're in the chapel pod, a converted storage crate with fold-out pews and a hollow altar that can render any faith icon. You slump into a pew, heart hammering. The hollow flickers to life unprompted. A crucifix, but the figure is wrong. Limbs too long, head tilted at an angle no neck should allow. It rotates slowly. You kill the feet. The crucifix stays, burned into your retinas like an afterimage. When you blink, it's gone. Sleep is a lost cause. At 3:12 a.m., the giggle returns, now layered with a low adult chuckle underneath. You pull on noise-canceling buds, cue whale song. The chuckle cuts through anyway, amused. You rip the buds out. Silence. Then your pod door hisses open by itself. The corridor light spills in, painting a silhouette, tall, thin, arms too long. It steps inside. The door seals. Darkness swallows you both. You fumble for the emergency light. It clicks on, revealing. Cook. Hood down, face pale, eyes wide. He presses a finger to his lips, then hands you a data shard. Previous cycle, he whispers, voice like dry leaves. Don't trust the patch. He's gone before you can speak, door hissing shut behind him. The shard is warm, edges sharp. You slot it into your tablet. A video file, time-stamped 6 months ago. The footage is shaky, handheld. A man in an orange hoodie, Cook, films a team identical to yours. Same faces, same dome. But the walls are scarred with claw marks that glow faint green. The previous chaplain, a woman with kind eyes, speaks directly to the camera. If you're watching, the artifact is awake. It learns. It wears faces. The billionaire wants a weapon, mind shatter delivered by Snowflake. We're the control group. Get this out before. The feed cuts to static, then a single frame. The glyph, now with a human silhouette inside it, arms outstretched. You eject the shard. Your reflection in the dark tablet screen has eyes that aren't yours, pupils dilated to full black, iris edges flickering violet. You blink hard. Normal. For now. Morning cycle. The team gathers in the atrium, faces drawn. Silas announces a group recalibration session in the zero-G sphere. Mandatory. You attend, floating in a circle, tethers keeping you from drifting. Silas leads a breathing exercise, voice smooth as oil. Inhale the void. Exhale your name. The lights dim. The sphere's walls turn transparent, revealing the Arctic night beyond the shield. Something vast moves beneath the ice, shadows the size of city blocks, sliding like oil. Everyone sees it. Someone screams. The lights snap back. Silas smiles. Projection glitch. Return to quarters. You don't. You corner Cook in the galley. He's peeling synthetic potatoes with a knife that shouldn't be that sharp. Talk, you hiss. He doesn't look up. They'll hear. You glance at the ceiling cams. Red light's dead. He leans close. Artifact's a seed. Crash-landed Precambrian. Feeds on identity. Sponsor wants to weaponize the hunger. We're fertilizer. His hand trembles. The knife slips, nicks his thumb. Black blood wells, smokes on contact with air. He wraps it in a rag without flinching. Patch on your suit? Nanite tracker. They'll know you know. He presses the rag into your hand. It's warm, pulsing faintly. Burn this. Then run. Alarms blare. Containment breach, level 4. The atrium lights strobe red. You sprint. The team is already suiting up. Silas's voice over intercom. Drill site anomaly. Recovery mandatory. No one argues. You gear up, patch blinking innocently on your shoulder. Cook watches from the airlock shadow. Hood up again. He raises 2 fingers. Peace or countdown. The rover lurches into the white. Your patch pings. Heart rate optimal. Compliance noted. You rip it off. Crush it under your boot. The rover's cab flickers. For a second, every face is Silas, smiling with too many teeth. Then normal. June grips your arm. Did you see? You nod. The glyph blooms across the windshield, then shatters into snowflakes that melt into black ichor. 2 clicks out. The ice trench yawns wider than before, edges glowing faint blue. The artifact sits in the center, no longer buried. A sphere of obsidian glass, 2 meters across, surface crawling with glyphs that hurt to perceive. It pulses. The team spreads out, tethers taut. You hang back, rag in your pocket throbbing like a second heart. Nia approaches the sphere, sample probe extended. The glyphs flare. She freezes. Her visor reflects not her face, but Dax's, mouth open in a silent scream. The probe melts. Nia drops it, backs away. The sphere cracks open like an eye. Something pours out. Not liquid, not solid. Absence given form. It touches the snow. The snow forgets how to be white. Where it passes, footprints appear, then vanish. It moves toward the rover. Toward you. Leo fires the tether gun. The spike punches through the absence, sticks in nothing. The absence keeps coming. Mira revs the rover, but the leg seize, joints locking in impossible angles. June shouts, entropy spike. Numbers cascade across his tablet, redlining. The absence reaches Dax's empty harness. The harness fills. Dax is there, smiling, eyes black. He waves. You run. Not away, toward the sphere. The rag in your pocket burns. You pull it out. It's the patch, reconstituted, writhing. Cook's voice in your head, though he's not here. Burn it. You slam the patch against the sphere. It sticks. Glyphs scream, soundlessly. The absence halts, reverses, sucked back into the crack. The sphere seals. Silence. The team stares. Dax's harness is empty again. The snow is white. Your hand is blistered where the patch touched skin. June scans the sphere. Dormant. For now. Silas's voice crackles over comms. Calm. Return to base. Debrief in 1 hour. You ride back in silence. The rag, patch, is gone, leaving a perfect circle of frost on your glove. Cook meets you at the airlock, hood down, smiling like a man who just cashed a winning ticket. He takes the glove, folds it, tucks it into his pocket. Good seed, he whispers. Bad harvest coming. That night, the hum is gone. In the quiet, you hear breathing from inside the walls. The rover's legs fold into the bay with a hiss of hydraulics, but the sound is wrong, like a sigh of relief from something that has been holding its breath for centuries. You peel off your helmet, and the air tastes metallic, as if the dome itself is bleeding ozone. No one speaks. June's tablet is cracked. The glyph has burned a permanent scar across the screen, glowing faintly even when the device is powered down. Nia clutches the melted probe like a crucifix. Aisha and Reese hold hands so tightly their knuckles glow white under the emergency strips. Leo and Mira check the bay doors 3 times, muttering about pressure seals that shouldn't need checking. Cook is gone again, orange hoodie a ghost in the corner of your eye. Silas's voice drifts from the atrium speakers, syrupy and calm. Debrief in the 0G sphere. Hydrate. Breathe. The lights brighten to clinical white, but the shadows cling to the curves of the corridor like oil. Your blistered hand throbs in time with the dome's heartbeat. Steady, patient, hungry. You lag behind the others, slipping into the chapel pod. The hollow altar flickers to life unprompted. This time, a mandala of interlocking glyphs, rotating slowly. Your implant tries to translate. The text scrolls across your vision in a language that predates vowels. Feed me your name. You kill the feed. The mandala stays, projected onto the inside of your eyelids when you blink. You splash your face with recycled water that tastes of copper and old stars. The zero-G sphere is a cathedral of negative space. Tethers drift like jellyfish tendrils. Silas floats at the center, coat billowing as if underwater, eyes reflecting the dome's shield, violet bleeding into ultraviolet. The team arranges itself in a loose ring, boots maglock to the floor grid. Evelyn passes out hydration bulbs. Hers trembles so badly the liquid forms perfect spheres that float away like tiny moons. Silas begins. The artifact is a seed, a message, a mirror. His voice resonates in the sphere's acoustics, layering over itself until it's a chorus. Our sponsor wishes to understand its language. We are the translators. June raises a shaking hand. It's not language. It's hunger. It unwrites entropy. Silas smiles, and the temperature drops 5 degrees. Precisely. And hunger can be aimed. You feel it then, the tug. Not physical. Something behind your sternum. A hook in the meat of your identity. Your name, Rowan Vale, feels suddenly negotiable, like a file you could rename. You grip your tether. The blister on your hand weeps clear fluid that smells of burnt cinnamon. Aisha's voice cracks the silence. Dax is gone. The ice took him. We need extraction. Reese nods, but his eyes are fixed on Silas, pupils dilated to full black. Silas tilts his head. Contracts are binding. The storm is coming. Extraction is complicated. The sphere's walls ripple, showing the Arctic night beyond the shield. Something vast moves beneath the ice, shadows the size of cities, sliding like oil. The shield flickers. For a heartbeat, the sphere is open to the void. Stars wheel overhead, wrong constellations, angles that hurt to perceive. Then the shield reasserts, and the stars are gone. But the cold stays. Evelyn floats forward. We're seeing things, hearing things. Group psychosis. Silas's laugh is soft, or group awakening. He gestures, and the sphere's lights dim to starlight. Close your eyes. Listen. You do. The hum is back, but layered now. Child's giggle, adult chuckle, whale's song, modem screech, all braided together. Your implant translates a single phrase, repeating, "Give me your shape." You open your eyes. The team is changing. June's fingers elongate, joints multiplying like insect legs. Nia's lab coat unfurls into wings of black membrane. Aisha and Reese merge at the shoulder, faces sliding together like wax. Leo and Myra's tools sprout from their forearms, whirring softly. Evelyn's cardigan unravels into threads that stitch her mouth shut. Silas watches, serene, as his own shadow detaches from his feet and crawls up the wall, smiling with his face. You look down. Your blistered hand is healing, too fast. The skin knits into perfect obsidian, glyphs crawling across the surface like living tattoos. The pain is exquisite. You try to scream, but your voice comes out as the hum. The sphere spins. Or you do. Tethers snap. Bodies drift apart, reforming into new configurations. Limbs borrowed, faces traded, identities shuffled like cards. Then the lights snap back to white. The team is normal again. Tethers intact. Silas claps once. Session complete. Return to quarters. Rest. No one argues. You float down the corridor, boots magnetizing to the deck with soft clicks. Your reflection in the polished walls shows your eyes, normal. For now, your pod is wrong. The gel mattress ripples like water. The hollow window cycles through auroras that bleed into the glyph. You sit at your desk. The red leaf is gone. In its place, a single black feather, edges sharp as monomolecular wire. You touch it. It dissolves into ash that smells of ozone and old blood. Your tablet wakes unprompted. A new file, Rowan_Vale_iteration_47.mp4. You don't remember recording it. You play it. The video is you, sitting at this desk, but your eyes are black, pupils reflecting starfields. You speak in the layered voice. The seed is germinating. The sponsor's storm is the delivery system. When the shield fails, the hunger rides the wind. Your name is the last lock. Give it willingly, or it takes everything. The video ends with you smiling. Too wide, teeth too sharp. The file deletes itself. Alarms. Solar storm inbound. Category X. Shield integrity 78% and falling. The dome shutters. Lights flicker to red. You suit up. Blistered hand, now fully obsidian. Glyphs pulsing in time with the storm. The team gathers in the atrium. Silas is gone. Cook stands in his place, hood down, holding the black feather. Storms the trigger, he says. Artifact wakes fully when the shield drops. We have maybe an hour. June's tablet shows the storm. A wall of plasma and magnetic fury, eating satellites like candy. Real-world fact. The Carrington event of 1859 knocked out telegraphs worldwide. This storm is projected to be 10 times stronger. Internet tidbit. Conspiracy boards claim the 2045 Aurora blackout was a test run. Whole towns in Nunavut lost power for 72 hours. Residents reported shadow people in the auroras. Experts still argue whether it was mass hysteria or something riding the geomagnetic currents. Cook leads you to the server core, a cathedral of quantum racks, coolant mist drifting like incense. The sponsor's hologram is cued. He'll gloat. Then the shield fails. He hands you the feather. This is a key. Old code. From the first seed. You don't ask how he knows. His eyes are bloodshot, but ancient. The core lights dim. A hologram blooms. The sponsor, a man in a charcoal suit, face obscured by a shifting mosaic of static. His voice is warm, paternal. Dr. Vale, you've done wonderfully. The seed responds to doubt, beautifully efficient. When the storm peaks, the shield collapses, and the hunger disperses. A perfect aerosol of identity erosion. World leaders will beg for the antidote, we'll sell them. He laughs, the sound of glaciers calving. Your faith was the control variable. How does it feel to be the last believer? You step forward. The feather burns cold in your hand. You built this dome over a grave. The sponsor tilts his head. Graves are just doors. The hologram flickers. Behind him, shadows move. Previous teams, faces melted into one another, mouths open in silent screams. Cook nods. You slam the feather into the core's root directory. Glyphs cascade across the racks, eating code. The sponsor's hologram distorts, face peeling away to reveal the glyph burned into raw static. The feed cuts. The dome shutters harder. Shield integrity 40%. You run. Corridors tilt. Gravity fluctuates. The team is scattering. June to the observatory. Nia to her lab. Aisha and Reese to the rover bay. Leo and Mira to engineering. Cook grabs your arm. Chapel pod. Now. You follow. The pod's door is sealed, frost spiderwebbing the seams. Cook presses his palm to the lock. It hisses open. Inside, the hollow altar is dark. But the air is warm. Human. Evelyn is there, cardigan torn, eyes clear. Silas locked me out. Said I was contaminated with hope. She holds a data shard. Previous chaplain's full log. The seed is an alien. It's us. Reflected. Amplified. The sponsor mined it from collective nightmares. War, plague, extinction. Weaponized dread. She slots the shard into the altar. A new hologram. The first team, faces you recognize, but older. They're building the dome. One by one, they step into the seed. One by one, they vanish. The last entry. We are the message. Forgive us. The dome groans. Shield integrity 15%. Cook pulls you to the altar. Your name is the lock. Give it to the seed, or it takes everything. You stare at the obsidian glyphs on your hand. They spell your name in a language that hurts to read. You could surrender it. Let the hunger wear your face, your faith. Or, you press your blistered hand to the altar. The glyphs flare. You speak. Not your voice, but every voice you've ever counseled, every prayer you've ever heard. Take the doubt. Leave the rest. The altar drinks the glyphs. Your hand is flesh again, scarred but human. The seed's hum stutters, confused. Outside, the storm peaks. The shield collapses in a violet scream. For a heartbeat, the dome is open to the void. Stars wheel. The hunger pours in, shadows with your face, June's face, every face that ever doubted. They reach for you. You stand your ground. The chapel pod seals. The hunger slams against the door, shrieking in your voice. Then silence. The light's steady. The hum is gone. Your implant reads, ambient harmony protocol disengaged. Crew manifest, 2, you and Cook. The others are elsewhere. Cook smiles, tired. Seeds dormant. For now, Storm took the rest. He hands you the chapel's emergency beacon. Send the log. Then we walk. You look out the viewport. The ice is smooth, pristine. No dome. No storm. Just endless white. And in the distance, a single red leaf skittering across the snow, carried by a wind that smells of cinnamon and ozone. You activate the beacon. The log uploads. Evelyn's shard. Your testimony. The sponsor's confession. It will reach the coastal relay in 6 hours. Maybe someone will believe. Maybe they'll come with bigger guns. Or bigger doubts. Cook opens the airlock. The cold is gentle, almost welcoming. Ready, Reverend? You step out. The snow cradles your boots. Behind you, the chapel pod sinks into the ice, swallowed whole. The red leaf catches on your sleeve, warm as a heartbeat. You walk north. The horizon hums. The snow accepts your weight without complaint. Each step a soft punctuation in the vast white sentence of the Arctic. Cook walks half a pace ahead, orange hoodie a defiant ember against the monochrome. The chapel pod is gone, swallowed so cleanly the ice shows no scar. Your blistered hand aches in the cold, but the glyphs are gone, leaving only pale ridges like old lightning. The emergency beacon pulses once in your pocket, signal sent, receipt pending, then goes dark. 6 hours until the world might answer. 6 hours until the hunger might wake again. You crest a pressure ridge and the dome's ruins come into view. A shallow crater ringed by twisted carbon struts, fiber optic veins snapped, and bleeding faint blue light. The shield generator lies on its side, cracked open like an egg, yolk of plasma still steaming. No bodies. No wreckage that suggests explosion. Just absence, curated. Cook kneels at the crater's edge, brushes snow from a shard of obsidian glass, artifact fragment, no larger than a thumbnail. It drinks the auroras overhead, reflecting them as slow-motion voids. Seeds children, he murmurs. They'll grow if doubt returns. He pockets the shard. You want to ask who he really is, previous cycle, future cycle, something between, but the wind shifts, carrying a child's giggle layered with modem screech. The hunger testing the silence. You descend into the crater. The server core juts from the ice like a black monolith, racks fused into a single sculpture of molten code. Your tablet, miraculously intact, boots to a single file. Rowan_Vale_iteration_48.log. You hesitate, then play. Your own voice, exhausted. If you're hearing this, the seed reset. The sponsor's storm was a delivery system, yes, but also a reset button. Every cycle, the hunger learns. This time, it almost kept my name. Cook, real name unknown, is the only constant. He carries the first doubt, the original sin. He's trying to starve it by refusing to name himself. Don't trust the rescue. They'll bring new names, new doubts. Burn this dome. Salt the ice. Pray in a language that hasn't been invented yet. The log ends with static that resolves into your own breathing. Here, now. Cook watches you, expression unreadable. I've heard that one, he says softly. Every cycle. He offers a protein bar wrapped in red leaf. You eat. It tastes like childhood snow and ozone. The auroras intensify, green curtains laced with ultraviolet veins. Real-world fact, during solar maximum, auroras can be visible at the equator. This storm is rewriting the magnetosphere in real time. Internet tidbit. The 2046 Whisper Storm, Over Svalbard left 400 tourists catatonic for 72 hours, all repeating the same phrase in dead languages. Experts still argue whether it was a CIA psyop or the ionosphere learning to speak. You circle the ruins. The rover bay is a rib cage of metal, legs curled inward like a dead spider. Inside, the Caldwell spectrometer lies cracked open, isotope vials shattered. The liquid inside has frozen into perfect glyphs, glowing faint blue. You chip one free. It crumbles to ash that smells of burnt cinnamon. Nia's lab is worse. Petri dishes fused into a single sheet of black glass. Bacterial colonies arranged into a perfect mandala of the hunger's face. Your face. June's face. Every face. Engineering is a tomb. Leo's toolkit has sprouted from the deck plating, wrenches and welders fused into a biomechanical sculpture. Myra's drone hovers above it, lens cracked, projecting a looping hologram. Mira waving goodbye, then stepping backward into the sculpture, absorbed. The drone's battery should be dead. It isn't. You find June in the observatory blister, or what's left of it. The dome's curve is shattered outward, as if something punched through from inside. June floats in the vacuum, suit intact, eyes open to the stars. His tablet drifts beside him, screen cycling through equations that resolve into a single line. I was the control variable. Frost feathers his eyelashes. You tether him, pull him down. His body is warm. Impossible. You check his pulse, steady, slow. He's alive, but not here. His mouth moves, soundless, shoo. You seal the blister with emergency patches. The auroras paint his face in shifting greens. Cook meets you in the chapel pod's footprint, now just a perfect circle of darker ice. They're anchors, he says. The hunger keeps them to remember what doubt feels like. He kneels, presses the obsidian shard into the ice. It sinks without resistance. We need to cut the anchors. You return to the rover bay. The sculpture pulses faintly. You raise a plasma cutter from Leo's kit, still functional. Cook stops you. Not with fire. With refusal. He places his hand on the sculpture. The metal softens, flows upward, wrapping around his wrist like a bracelet. Myra's drone descends, lens focusing on Cook's face. The hologram shifts. Mira, Leo, Dax, all previous cycles, faces layered like transparencies. They speak in unison, Cook's voice underneath. Name me, and I end. You understand. The hunger needs a name to wear. Cook has denied it for centuries of cycles. You step forward. I name you, you pause. Every name feels like a key. You choose the only one that fits. I name you doubt. The sculpture screams, metal, flesh, code. The bracelet tightens, then shatters into black snow. The drone falls, lens dark. Myra's hologram winks out. One anchor down. You move to the observatory. June floats, eyes tracking auroras that aren't there. You tether close. June, come back. His mouth forms the SHH again. You place your scarred hand on his visor. I name you curiosity. His suit deflates slightly, then reinflates. His eyes clear. He gasps, grabs your tether. Rowan? It's beautiful. And hungry. You pull him down. The blister seals behind you. Two anchors. Nia's lab. The mandala of black glass pulses. You press your palm to it. I name you discovery. The glass fractures into frost. Nia's lab coat drifts down empty. 3. The Caldwell spectrometer. You touch the frozen glyphs. I name you connection. The vials melt into water that smells of Welsh rain. Aisha and Reese appear, hand in hand, translucent but solidifying. They nod. 4. Engineering. The sculpture is smaller now, a single wrench fused with a human hand. You touch it. I name you creation. The wrench falls, clangs. Leo and Mira blink into existence, grease on their faces, confused but alive. 5. Only one anchor left. You return to the crater's heart. The server core is gone, replaced by a perfect sphere of ice, 2 meters across, surface crawling with glyphs. Inside, suspended, is Evelyn, cardigan intact, eyes closed, smiling. Cook stands before it. The last anchor is hope, he says. The hardest to refuse. You approach. Evelyn's eyes open, black, then hazel. She mouths, "Let me go?" You raise your hand. The glyphs reach for your scars. You could name her, free her, complete the cycle. Or, you remember the log. Pray in a language that hasn't been invented yet. You close your eyes. You speak, not words, but the shape of refusal. A sound like glaciers calving, but gentle. The sphere cracks. Evelyn steps out, solid, warm. She hugs you. "Thank you," she whispers. "I was almost the door." The ice beneath your feet rumbles. The hunger wakes, angry. The auroras collapse into a single violet lance, spearing the crater. The dome's ruins lift, reassemble into a perfect sphere of black glass. Artifact reborn, larger. Glyphs crawl across its surface, spelling every name it has ever stolen. It opens like an eye. Cook steps forward. "My turn." He places the obsidian shard into the eye. It drinks him, orange hoodie, bloodshot eyes, ancient doubt. The sphere screams, contracts, implodes into a single point of darkness. Then silence. The ice is smooth. The auroras return, gentle greens and pinks. Your implant pings, rescue inbound. ETA 20 minutes. The team gathers: June, Nia, Aisha, Reese, Leo, Mira, Evelyn. No one speaks of Cook. His absence is a name none of you can pronounce. You look north. A single red leaf skitters across the snow, carried by a wind that smells of cinnamon and ozone. It catches on your boot. You pin it to your suit. It doesn't wilt. The rescue tilt rotor descends through the auroras like a black needle threading the sky, engines whining in a minor key that makes your teeth itch. You stand at the crater's edge with the 7 survivors, June clutching his cracked tablet, Nia cradling an empty petri dish, Aisha and Reese shoulder to shoulder, Leo and Mira sharing a single vape, Evelyn smoothing her torn cardigan. The ice beneath your boots is warm, almost pulsing, as if the planet itself is exhaling after a long-held breath. The red leaf, pinned to your suit, flutters though there is no wind. The tilt rotor touches down with a hiss of landing skis. A hatch irises open and 2 figures emerge in matte black enviro suits, visors mirrored. No insignia. The taller one raises a hand in greeting. The gesture is too smooth, rehearsed. Your implant pings, rescue authenticated. Sponsor override. The words crawl across your vision like frost. Evelyn steps forward. "We sent the log." They know. The taller figure tilts its helmet. A voice, genderless, ageless, issues from the suit's speaker. Logs are data. Data is negotiable. The second figure raises a device that looks like a tuning fork made of obsidian. It hums. The red leaf on your suit blackens, curls, flakes away to ash. June whispers, "That's the seed's frequency. They're rebooting." The tilt rotor's engines cycle down, but the hum grows louder, layered now with the child's giggle and the modem screech. The ice ripples. The crater begins to refill, carbon struts rising like ribs, fiber optic veins knitting themselves back into place. The dome is rebuilding itself from memory. You back away. The team follows. The mirrored visors track you. The taller figure speaks again. Cycle 49 begins. Your participation is appreciated. It gestures, and the tilt rotor's hatch seals. The craft lifts, hovers, then banks north, toward the horizon where the red leaf vanished. Leo swears softly. Myra's vape falls from her fingers, forgotten. Nia's empty dish cracks in her grip. Aisha and Reese clutch each other. June's tablet reboots to a single line. "I was never the control variable." Evelyn looks at you. Eyes ancient. They'll keep resetting until the hunger learns to wear hope without cracking. The ice beneath the reforming dome splits. Something rises, not the artifact, not Cook, but a silhouette stitched from every face the hunger has ever stolen. It wears Cook's orange hoodie, but the hood is down, revealing a face that shifts. Dax, June, Nia, the Caldwells, previous chaplains, previous cycles. It smiles with your mouth. "Rowan." It says in your voice, layered with every prayer you've ever spoken. "Name me again." You feel the hook behind your sternum, the tug at your name. The team forms a loose circle around you. tethers of flesh and doubt. You could refuse. You could walk north, let the cycle spin without you. But the red leaf's ashes still warm on your fingers, and you remember Cook's last words. Good seed. Bad harvest. You step forward. The silhouette mirrors you. You raise your scarred hand. No glyphs, just human skin. I name you, you pause. The hunger leans in, eager. You finish, soft as snowfall. Forgiven. The silhouette staggers. The hoodie tears along the seams, revealing not flesh but starlight, raw, unfiltered, older than doubt. The giggle cuts off. The modem screech becomes a sigh. The dome's reconstruction halts halfway, struts frozen midnet, veins pulsing once, then still. The silhouette collapses into a pile of orange fabric and red leaves. The wind, real wind, picks them up, scatters them north. The team exhales as one. The tilt rotor banks, engine stuttering. It rights itself, then veers south, toward the coastal relay, toward the log you sent. Your implant pings, signal received. Investigation dispatched. The words feel like mercy. You walk. The ice is solid, the aurora is gentle. Behind you, the half-dome sinks, swallowed whole. No crater, no scar, just endless white. And in the distance, a single red leaf skittering across the snow, carried by a wind that smells of cinnamon and ozone and something new, something that hasn't been named yet. The horizon softens, edges blurring like watercolor left in the rain. Your footsteps slow, the snow cradles, each one a little longer, as if reluctant to let you go. The team spreads out, not in fear, but in quiet wonder. June tracing constellations that might be messages. Nia pressing her cracked dish to the ice to listen. Aisha and Reese humming a Welsh lullaby that makes the auroras shimmer in sympathy. Leo and Mira share the last of their vape, exhaling clouds that drift upward and become stars. Evelyn walks beside you, cardigan mended by some small miracle, threads glowing faint gold. You are tired, but it is the tiredness of a story told well, muscles loosening, thoughts drifting like snowflakes. The cold is no longer a bite. It is a blanket, thick and forgiving. Your implant dims to a single soft pulse. Ambient harmony